Good morning, watching Sky News weather. 2 emergency warnings remain in place right now for out-of-control bushfires burning just inland from the WA town of Albany. The main concern is a fire that is burning just northwest outside of the town. It's remarkable at this time of year that we do have bushfires. Now, there's a shot of that fire that was burning on Thursday, but it has expanded overnight due to gale force northerly winds. We're going to cross straight to our WA Perth reporter now, Nicole Hammer, who's on the ground in the Perth CBD. Nicole, thank you very much for joining us. We do have these 2 bushfire emergency warnings which are in place. What's the latest there?
Well, we do have those 2 emergency warnings in place, and lives and homes are under threat. Firefighters have been working tirelessly throughout the night to get those fires under control, but those gusty winds as a result of this cold front that is tracking towards the south region of the state is making it extremely difficult for firefighters to get this blaze under control. Now, those emergency warnings in place include an area bounded by Palmdale Road, Tackenut Road, Settlement Road and Morant Road in Napier. Now, that is in the city of Albany. Another emergency warning remains in place for the western part of Redmond, Marbulla, McHale, Ellicott and Torbay, also in the city of Albany. Today, they are expecting rain down near Albany, but the rain will be fast moving and it won't be enough to put out these fires alone. They are expecting winds of up to more than 100 kilometres an hour down there, which will be, of course, fanning those bushfire flames, which will, of course, make it extremely hard for firefighters battling the blaze, trying to get it under control. Now, just also, these fires are moving in a southwesterly direction. An evacuation centre has been set up at the Albany Leisure and Aquatic Centre. Now, that is for anyone living in Albany who has had to evacuate their home overnight or this morning if they plan to do so. They can head to the Albany Aquatic and Leisure Centre to seek refuge there until firefighters can get these blazes under control.
And Nicole, we can see the cloudy skies behind you there in Perth. As predicted, we had big storms in Perth overnight. Do we know yet if there's been any damage?
Well, we do know that the SES have been called to around 90 homes overnight. I understand that this is mainly for minor damage, but of course, as people wake up this morning and begin to assess their homes, we expect the SES crews to be called to even more homes. Now, thousands of homes were also left without power overnight. I was one of those homes left in the dark last night. Western Power say that they have managed to restore power to most of those homes, but a few people will be waking up this morning in the darkness while this sun continues to rise. Now, an extraordinary amount of rain in some regions overnight. Busselton had 65 millimetres. Now, that's its heaviest rain in 13 days. Of course, this has caught a lot of people off guard. We've had a dry spell here in Perth and in WA Southwest. We'd expect that this is welcome news for farmers. Just a few days ago, we were experiencing 27, 28 degrees, beautiful Perth sunshine. But the next few days, and particularly today, will be rather wet and miserable.
Okay, Nicole, yeah, it's a huge change over the past 24 hours. That was Nicole Hammer, the Sky News WA Perth reporter. Okay, so we have bushfires burning just inland from Albany. These are the maximum wind gusts we have seen overnight, 102 kilometres per hour at Albany Airport. So even though it's not particularly hot, we have seen gale force winds overnight. That went through with the front. And we've also had gusts about 90 to 110 kilometres per hour along that lower western part of the WA coast. That's since midnight. Just before midnight last night, we had gusts at Cape Naturalist up to 113 kilometres per hour. This is the current average wind. We're averaging 33 k's an hour in Albany right now, but that area will average 35 to 55 kilometres per hour today. So it will stay extremely windy, and these strong winds are fanning those bushfires burning near Albany. Also very windy along that lower western part of the coastline. The fire dangers will be very high today. That's the yellow for inland parts of WA and the southern coastline, including Albany. So even though we're looking at a maximum temperature there of only about 19 or 20 degrees, because it has been dry, we still haven't had heavy rain along the south coast. Because it's been dry and it's windy, we still have elevated fire dangers. Now, we've had some heavy rain on the west coast. That was Bunbury as the storms approached on Thursday afternoon, and then overnight a lightning show across Perth with heavy falls. It has delivered as promised. A band of cloud moving inland with this cold front now. Now, the cloud band is starting to break down through the inland areas, but notice this circular pattern on the satellite. We've got a deepening low pressure system off the southwest coast, and that will bring further good falls to southwest WA over the next 24 hours. Radar overnight shows the band of rain and storms initially hitting the west coast, Perth, at about roughly 8 p.m. You started to see heavy rain, and then some rain moved across the wheat belt overnight. But you can see around Albany, where the fires are, we've only had very light patchy falls, less than a millimetre of rain there. We're still seeing fairly heavy showers along the west coast. Since 9 a.m. yesterday, massive falls, 65 at Busselton, heaviest rain in 13 years. Bunbury, 58, heaviest rain in over 5 years. Perth's had 28. Some suburbs, though, have had over 40 millimetres. Geraldton, you've had 19. There's more on the way. Showers continuing through western and central parts of the state today. But what we're concerned about is the wind. As this low approaches, notice the gale force winds, that's the red arrows, pushing through that southwest corner of WA. So it's still windy right now, but the winds have eased slightly overnight, but they'll pick up again today through that southwest pocket of WA. That's why we still have a warning in place. Gusts up to 100 kilometres per hour around Perth today, the morning and the afternoon. East of Albany, the winds will ease pretty quickly, but to the west of Albany, along the coastline, west of the line, Busselton to Albany itself, we could see gusts in excess of 125 kilometres per hour this afternoon and this evening as that low gets close to the coast. So look out. We could see some damage to property and further power outages. Huge swells too. Part of the warning is for abnormally high tides and coastal flooding. That's a 7-metre swell, that aqua shading, hitting the west coast overnight tonight and early Saturday. So a little bit of flooding possible, perhaps even some coastal erosion. So much happening in the west thanks to this deep low. In the east, it's the opposite. We've got high pressure, which means settled weather, although that high is directing onshore winds and showers onto the Queensland coast. Mackay's had more than 10 millimetres of rain overnight. Showers continuing today for the coast. Some light showers for the inland areas. But we'll even have the odd storm today. We've got an unstable atmosphere, and as a result, well, we could see some moderate falls just along that coastal fringe. That includes Brisbane. Good chance of showers this afternoon, even the slight risk of a storm, although we're not expecting severe storms at this stage. Here are the latest temperatures then. We've got Canberra sitting on 6.6 right now. Hobart dropped to 3 overnight, currently 4.8 degrees, and Alice Springs also quite chilly, starting your day at about 9 degrees.